based on a solo line business owner, what I noticed about some of these networking events was it was like you were on a conveyor belt, and a bit like speed dating. That it felt as if some of the types, I'm not saying all of these networking events, but some of them are very based on just how many people you can get through and the information, and it's almost like, this hustle type, and it's quite stressful and not good for the nervous system, and not exactly soul aligned, because sometimes you can feel very kind of pushed or manipulated into doing things that maybe not feel aligned with your business and what you want to do. The wealth of success that comes from heart-based networking. My name is Eileen Burns. I'm a soul-aligned business strategist. I'm also a coach, healer, and therapist. And I've been studying in holistic and spiritual well-being for well over 30 years. And I've also been self-employed and had an online component to my business, marketing and digital perspective from a business for over 25 years. So I tend to know a lot about business and marketing. And one of the things that I would say, is really, really important, and it should never be underestimated, is the power of networking. And through a variety of challenges, networking is not always been something that I've been able to do as much as I'd like to, for a variety of reasons. And some of it I'll be talking about a little bit. But one of the things that I do know is that the more that you have a strong network and that you have strong support and contacts, the more your business can grow. And that's not just about growing financially, it's growing in a way. It's like, if you think about our physical self and ourself from a holistic perspective, we need to be nurtured mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. And in many ways, so does a business, particularly a soul line business. You want to nurture it in all the right ways. And if you have people that can support you, and if you have good contacts and people that you can call on for help or advice or knowledge with certain challenges, it makes things so much, easier and so much better. Now, when I started my business, I'm going to try and keep this quick, but I had been very ill, and I had spent a large part of 7 years what you would class as predominantly at times housebound and sometimes bedbound. And I was young, and my friends that had shrunk, a lot of things in my life had shrunk, it got very small. I was a lot disconnected, because sometimes when you're sick and people don't understand, you face a lot of challenges. So I had all of that, but I also had mobility issues and other challenges that made running a business very, very challenging. And when I look back, in some ways I was insane, but there was a drive, there was a determination, there was a tenacity to do what I wanted to do, to be of service, and to have purpose. And one of the things that was the hardest for me was actually networking. Because of those challenges, most networking events weren't suitable. And even though I had an online component to my business, it just wasn't like networking and social media. You didn't have that 25 years ago. You didn't have the amount of connection and networking and support that we have online today. It was very, very different. So we're very, very lucky that you can, have an online chat with someone, and there's so many ways to meet people. And I think so much so that people actually are not always valuing it and maybe not approaching it in the best way. And for a variety of reasons, then, even though things improved, I developed about 10 years ago an extreme noise sensitivity that was so disabling that it meant that lots of things I just couldn't do the way other people do it, and I had to control my environment all the time. And I ended up wanting to do some online work, but I had to be very careful no noise exposure because it would trigger seizures, and nobody wants that when they're working online. And recently, I attended a couple of networking events over the last few months, and I had for a long time wanted to create something new in relation to networking. But one of the things that I noticed when I went on to these networking events was they were not exactly conducive for someone that had sensory challenges, first of all, particularly noise sensitivity, but also as someone who have a variety of kind of sensory challenges, which can make processing certain information very difficult and overwhelming, also extremely empathic and sensitive in other ways. And other than that, as a heart-based and a soul-aligned business owner, what I noticed about some of these networking events was it was like we were on a conveyor belt, and a bit like speed dating. But it felt as if some of the types, I'm not saying all of these networking events, but some of them are very based on just how many people you can get through and the information, and it's almost like, you know, this hustle type, and it's quite stressful and not good for the nervous system, and not exactly soul aligned, because sometimes you can feel very kind of pushed or manipulated into doing things that maybe not feel aligned with your business and what you want to do. Also, you know, you can hit different challenges, and there's quite a few things that I will be discussing in some of the work that I'm going to do. But why is networking so important, you know, to build a business? Well, when you build good networks, it's everything in business is about reach and connection. It's like even your audience, you have to connect with your audience, and you have to be able to connect with them at an emotional level. People matter, if you like it or not, buy an emotional, it's a trigger, it makes them buy, right? And most marketing and branding and marketing psychology is all based on building connection, building this connection, and you might not think about it, but everything that you buy, you've actually forming some kind of emotional attachment to it or some emotional reaction to it, right? And when you build genuine relationships with other people, other business owners, but other people, even in your local community, or people you know, or friends or whatever, they have impact in your life, and they can have, you know, they can increase the wealth of your life. You know, I don't mean your financial wealth. You just make things more enjoyable and more interesting. And in business, all these people can bring something else to the table and support you in different ways. And one of the biggest things that, from an egoic business perspective rather than a heart-based business perspective, is many people just think about what's in it for me, and they're coming from very root survival chakra, very much that like hustle perspective, and just like what it is in it for me. But they're not then coming in really with an open heart and coming in with genuine, you know, heartfelt way of saying, well, is there anything I can do to help, or see if I can help? And also, when you come in with a soft heart and an open heart, or a big heart, you know, it's not to be, you know, soft, open, whatever, when you come in with more of that energy, even people that maybe don't align, or maybe things that are maybe not a right fit, or that's not, maybe not with something that exactly is what is matches your audience, but you might, if you come in with the open heart, you might be able to share something with them, or think, oh, well, listen, that's not really my kind of thing, but I know someone, or you may have something else. And one of the things that we do know right now in a lot of marketing is a lot of business owners are facing a lot of challenges in their social media, particularly a lot of us that are holistic and spiritual for a variety of reasons. And one of the things that a lot of people are saying, even people with huge, massive followers in these industries, they're just not getting the reach, they're not getting the conversions, but they're facing lots of challenges. And we look at the censorship issues, we look at a lot of things that they're trying to change. And also, this kind of overwhelm of people being on social media, for example, where lots of people do their promoting on, there's just such an overwhelm of information and overwhelm of people trying to sell that people are switching off, and they're losing trust in things, and they're becoming more disillusioned, and they're looking for more transparency, and they're looking for people to trust, and often they're looking for friends or other people that have experienced something or know someone. Often they are the better ways to reach you. I'm not saying it's the only way, but often referrals are the best way to get a client, right? And someone's experienced your work, someone that's worked with you, someone has had good results, that's often a better referral. But also, when we, as business owners, for example, just talk about business owners networking together, often we can find out resources or things that, like if we think about all the everyday costs of running a business. Now, every business is unique in how much it spends on its advertising, its marketing, its software, and all the other things. I have lots of costings in relation to some of the things that I do. I sell lots of digital products. And I have managed through years to narrow some things down, have one platform, it does a lot of things. But I use lots of things to help me convert and whatever. And also, I knew, in the past, I remember there were certain, to do with some of the work that I did, I had to be part of certain professional memberships. And I was spending lots and lots of money. My insurance was actually, now, my insurance was about £2,000 at one time, when most of my fellow therapists were lucky if their insurance was £50 or £60. And that was a huge, you can imagine, and one of the biggest problems at that time was I wasn't able to do the hours and the type of work that most people were able to do in my industry. So I was very limited in the type of income generating that I was able to get in at that point for a variety of reasons, just to do with health and other things. So I had these huge outlays and a limitation until I changed my business model and changed my approach. Now, networking is a great way. One person can get you in front of thousands and even more of an audience that's your ideal audience. One person can help solve an issue that's causing you really extreme problems in your business. One person can give you that mental and emotional support that you need when you're having a really bad day or had a really tough time in business and almost ready to jack it in because you've had enough, right? All of these people can make such a difference. I remember at the beginning of my path, it was so lonely, so hard, and I faced so many different challenges. I had so many crazy things happen that even my dad, who had been in business for 40 years, I remember him not believing, he couldn't believe he's now happened to be more than 40 years, but anyway, at that point, whenever it was, he'd been in business a long time, and he came, his own father had been in business, and I remember him saying he couldn't believe what was going on. And one of the challenges that I had was this isolation of lots of people always wanting me to help them and support them, but I didn't have the right people supporting me. And sometimes, there was people who did want to do swaps, but they weren't equal swaps, or I wasn't getting the support I needed. And then things started to change for a lot of reasons. And I'm lucky now. I wouldn't say I don't have lots and lots of support in my personal life for different reasons because of some things, but I do have a lot of people. The people that are personal is a small but very strong support. But what I would say in business through the years, I've met lots of wonderful people, lots of therapists, particularly that I'm very close to, who've been very kind to me. I've helped them out in business. And then when things were very tough for me, health-wise or whatever, they're very kind and help me. And that's what it's about, because you never know what might happen in business or life. Life throws us lots of curves. So networking is not just about business growth, it's also about they can help you with things that come up, or you can refer on some of your own clients for things that you've maybe even never considered before. But part of being human is relationship building, and part of what we're dealing with humanity right now, with so many things that's going on in the world. Most of the problems in the world have happened because we're not united enough. We're not working together. We're all divided, and we're so busy just looking after ourselves, or just functioning on a me mentality, that the world has become very independent and very, very, how could you say, isolated. Everybody's isolating and pulling themselves, have put themselves away. And we've got in a situation where we need to unite. We need to start building stronger relationships, because humanity cannot evolve and grow. It cannot expand and grow if it's divided. It's not connected. When we're interconnected, and when we're in harmony and we're in expansion and we help each other, we all grow. And it's one of the reasons why I have created something new, and it's something that's going to evolve and expand. It has to start like a little seedling, and my plans for it are to expand in all sorts of different ways, but it is starting small, and it's going to start with a networking, a monthly networking event, which is aimed at heart-based networking, more conscious networking, that is about people being able to network in a way that feels more aligned, but also come away from the event with maybe some tips or some of an idea or ideas, or maybe other types of support or things that they never really thought about that could help them expand and grow. But more important than ever is about helping people to feel more connected and to build and also learn to build deeper connections. Because I think we've got away from that. We've got so much onto this conveyor belt type of networking and fast track networking, or the standardized ways of doing business and marketing. I don't know how many people through the years have said to me, and it's put me right off so many business coaches and marketing coaches, you have to do this, you have to go into LinkedIn, you have to do this, you have to do that, and you have to do it this way. And many of the ways, the approaches are very ego, and many of them saying that they're soul aligned and their heart aligned and they're spiritual aligned. But some of the things that I was getting asked and told to do were just so misaligned with everything that my business and my values were based on. And you will be the same. You'll have particular values, and we're all different, and we can all look at things different. But it's about us coming together and supporting what we can without having to compromise our ethics and values. But it's about unity and support more than anything else. Things are changing dramatically in the world, in the financial system, and the way that we do business and marketing, and so many things, and things are going to change rapidly over the next, I would say, few months, right into the next couple of years. And more than ever, if we are going to get through this with more strength, we need to unite. And this project and this, this new, as part of a new community and a new membership I'm creating, there'll be different layers to it, but it's about helping people share resources, look at better ways to do business and to grow without having to rely on a lot of these big platforms and a lot of things that completely misalign with an ethics and values, and to work as a team and to figure out ways that we can all survive and thrive in challenging times. So if you would love to even just dip your toe into the first networking event, it's just the beginning. So it may be a wee bit smaller than I would hope, because I have to be honest, I had put the date out and I haven't had as much time to network it in the background and do it, because I ended up having to do some other things for the community. But We start on Wednesday, the 2nd of October, and it's 7 to 8:30, and that is UK time. And I think we're still in. I think so far we're still in the British summertime. Yes, still in the British summertime. But basically, it'll be like a mixture of networking, and you'll be able to connect in little rooms with other people, but also I'll be giving some tips and some things. I'll be sharing, and I'll also sharing a wee bit more about this new community and how you can get involved and some of the benefits of some of the aims of what I'm planning. And this networking event and this community is not just for business owners, it's for those of you who are, I know there's many heart-based and awakened people at the moment that are really attracted to start things in their community or have started to do it. And they're not even doing it as like a set project. They're just getting out into the community and they've started to do something that the community needs and the world needs. And this is about us all supporting people with heart-based agendas who are making impacts in the world, who genuinely want to make the better a place, and that it's more coming from the heart and the soul. So if you'd like to learn more and want to be part of it in some way, or you're just curious, just want to be nosy, it's fine. Come and join. As I said, this will be the first one, and I'm going to try my best to do as much marketing, but I'm a wee bit limited time. But as I always know, you have to start somewhere, and it's that first seedling and setting the seed, allowing the universe to support you. So I would say join, sign up. If you have any friends or colleagues that you think would love to get involved, sign up, join us. That's what it's all about. So thank you for watching the video, and check out, I will be sharing more about this and some of my other, and I've got lots of free resources to help you grow your business or grow your project, and just have a wonderful day and week. And I would love to see you on Wednesday. Bye bye.